welcome to Let's Play Need for Speed 3 Hot Pursuit Episode 18. And where for today's episode we are now heading over to the 6th round of the tournament, which takes place at Lost Canyons. And as for the colour, well, I think we have just 2 colours left now, as of which we have red and we also have blue. And then we just basically go back to green, so gotta change the colour over to red this time for this episode, since I am trying to use each of the colours available to me. And let's now show off the track info once again.
Prepare to drop out of sight, as this course takes you from ground level into the depths of the canyon floor in seconds. Now's the time to balance your speed with steering technique. Varied wide bank turns, joined by snug chicanes, make it difficult to plow through at top speed here. This challenging stretch of winding road dips drastically in places, serving up consecutive jumps and sudden turns. Be alert and watch your speedometer. Pick a path on this multi-leveled roadway and hang on. Big air and bigger speeds are the rewards for the adventurous driver here.
And apparently the narrator says we have to be intrepid in order to win this race. And fortunately to most of you, even though I might be an accident-prone gamer, at the very least I can very much say I am an intrepid gamer. Let's move onwards to race number 6, where we are going to be about as adventurous as Indiana Jones. Yeah, that was the first suggestion which came to mind. I couldn't think of any others. I do apologise if I'm not a quick thinker.
Three, 2, 1, go!
I think this is like already my umpteenth attempt now, because it's probably got to be like either attempts 9 or 10 in accordance towards how much I failed with this. Whether it's just because of my own mistakes, or if it's just because of the AI just wanting to fuck me like a bunch of degenerate arseholes. Because that's basically what they are. They are clearly a bunch of unintellectual, degenerate arseholes. Just literally not giving a fuck if I'm alive or dead. Prolifically deranged and slaughtering motherfuckers is more or less what I consider these AI to be. Because whenever I try to race clean, they just basically play dirty, regardless of what I try and do. Because they are fucked over their heads. I think if there was any driver I can think of that essentially gives the perfect description towards what these AI are like, I would probably say Joey Logano. I would probably say Joey Logano, because they will basically do anything to just win a race, even if that involves taking out their fellow compatriots in competition. Because pretty much everyone in this field is Joey Logano, more or less. Is what me thinks. Judging by how much of a terrible time I've had
You beat the lap record.
Just
Lap
trying
2.
to beat him, let alone finish the race. Because they just want to continually fuck with me even when I feel like I actually have a shot of winning the race. They just want to basically deny me those opportunities when I want them the most, which annoys me. Considering this race up to this point has already taken way longer than it should have done, I should have probably finished with it by now, but somehow I still haven't because of my plausible accountability towards making every single mistake imaginable. Towards the counter-intuitive ambition of me just trying to basically go for broke. Throughout this championship without any real centering disciplinary. Without any real centering disciplinary. Furthermore, if you are hearing any background noise, and I doubt you are, but if you are hearing any background noise, then that's probably just the fan in my PlayStation, because oddly enough, this one, as I probably didn't mention, does have the updated hardware components compared to my previous one, which obviously didn't. And basically, when it overheated, the system itself died because it didn't have the hardware components this one does. And I'm definitely going to beat the lap record.
You beat the lap record. Lap 3.
I just annihilated the lap record, actually. Okay, I've survived the first 2 laps. All I need to do now is just try and survive these final 2 laps. As long as these AI fuck with me about as minimally as they can. Because they really have fucked with me unnecessarily. Even if I'm making minor mistakes, they still end up trying to fuck with me. Because they somehow think that I am not belonging amongst the experts. Well, all I can really say to each of you critics who think that I am not applicable for the expert tournament, then once I slam it, you can suck it and then shove it. Because I am still not losing this race. This race is mine to lose. I'm not losing it this time, I don't think. Or at least I hope I don't lose it this time. Regardless of how closely bunched up this pack really is. I'm still trying to go for broke, damn it. Because I want to win. Even then, of course, if I am not Wario, I still want to win. I'm a Wario. I'm gonna win. Well, I think that's what he says in Mario Kart 64. Well, anyways, you know, retro game references.
It's the final lap.
Okay, 1 lap to go. Can I manage to keep this all clean? Probably not, but I'm gonna try anyway, because I might be able to win it this time. If I can avoid making major mistakes. Okay, I have avoided the cacti up to this point. It's just a matter of knowing if I can manage to survive the final stretch. Gotta do whatever it takes to stay up front. If it's possible for me to block them without getting wrecked, then I'm gonna fucking block them. I'm basically gonna do whatever it takes to hold on to the race win. Even then, of course, if they just want to make this look like a demolition derby, or at least a typical over-aggressive and stupid race at Daytona, which is more or less what I think they want to do. Well, either Daytona or Talladega, but mainly Daytona, because the track is tighter. Even though the big one is just about as likely to occur at Talladega, but again, that's just my opinion. Oh, I think I choked a little bit there, but fortunately the AI were not just biting my ass in that section, so they are coming, but fortunately they're not managing to pull ahead of me. Am I going to do it this time? Yes!
You've won the race!
Finally! God, that race took way too fucking long to win. Because of the mistakes I made.
Congratulations! You beat the best time for this track.
And I also annihilated the lap record. With a 2 minutes 20.
Congratulations! You beat the lap record for this track.
Which oddly enough is... And I finished that race in virtually 10 minutes. Or at least over dead on 10 minutes. So best lap time, 2 minutes and 28.15 seconds, a top speed of 191 miles an hour, average lap speed of 2 minutes 30, arcade style, forward direction, and also, it of course was a tournament race. So, now I'm going to focus on getting a replay shot. Because that is what I do. Just so glad to say this race is over. Because if it wasn't, then I would be in a completely different mood swing. But at the very least, I do now have 3 wins upon the season. Up to this point. Let's try and see what shots we can get of this thing. And oddly enough, this actually isn't a bad camera shot, because at the very least I can get some up-close shots of the Jag. Which is a good thing. And as of which, I think this Jag XJR15 also appears in Gran Turismo 2 if I'm not mistaken. Except for saying that it's mainly just the road car and not the actual race car. because the racing mods are probably not available for this car due to licensing issues, I think is what the reason was for the XJR15 in GT2 not becoming available with racing modifications. Although I am hoping for GT7 they will manage to bring back the racing mods. I mean, that did manage to provide some good experience towards the comparisons of road cars and race cars. Even though that's probably just... even though that's probably just what I think. Yeah, okay. I think I've got something for the thumbnail shot there. I've gone long enough. And Ice finished last in that race. And yep, pretty much all of us were driving Jags. So by less than a second I beat Bullet, Swerve finished in 3rd ahead of Terror, Carcass was 5th ahead of Tad in their battle for 7th position in the championship, Blazin finished in 7th, and Ice was last. Sucks to be him, I guess. Anyways, these are the championship standings after 6 races. I now hold a 9-point lead over Bullet, which is just over 1 race. Terror finishes 3rd ahead of Blazin. Ice has now dropped down to 5th ahead of Swerve. And Carcass is now 1 point ahead of Tad in their battle for 7th position. And next time we shall be heading over to Aquatica. Stay tuned for more of the Hot Pursuit.